Hey, welcome to another episode of Real Men, Real Talk. I'm your host, Wayne, my co-host, Corey, Daniel, everybody's favorite Uncle Dwight, and my man, Icon. You know, hot topics we sit around, chit-chat, talk about, and we brought you into our world to share our conversation. Relationships, communication, is that the prime basis of the relationship?
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say it's the prime basis. I'd just say that it's huge to be able to have a communication. Most people don't know how to communicate. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is, when is there ever a meaningful argument? Where there's a resolution? In order for you to start getting to the point where you're having meaningful arguments, you're going to be older, and you're going to realize that a lot of stuff ain't really worth arguing.
Ain't arguing.
Let me ask you this: would it depend on would it depend on the relationship as far as age wise? If the woman's older and the guy's younger, or the guy's older and the woman's younger? I mean, would there be a level of communication that that age difference, or would it be experience altogether as far as the two couples, communicating wise?
Well, it's always gonna be levels to it, because you dating or you involved with another person, because whatever or just say whatever your level is ain't gonna necessarily be what theirs is. I mean, because in the midst of you
talking about experience wise? Because I can be a person on the street and she can be a person of a controlled environment, and then.
Well, the thing is, it's experience wise, because what you've been through, they may not have ever been through, seen, or even touched or thing. So y'all trying to come together doing dating. You're trying to come together to perform, levels together.
So would be a level of being able to relate.
Yeah, being able to
relate to you.
Exactly.
I can understand what you're saying or coming through, and then.
And like I said, some people don't know how to communicate between each other. That, all right, well, I'm gonna wait to the very end to bring this on this person, and when I got this situation going on, let me tell them now, so we have a fair understanding. But if you don't know how to communicate, you don't know how to deliver that communication. That, okay, I'm going through an issue. I'm going through a situation. I got something brand new coming up in my life. That here's what I need you to understand. But you can't communicate that shit. It ain't gonna never work. Ain't nobody ever gonna work. Don't make it.
Okay, Dwight, what's your wisdom on that?
It's a big basis of the relationship.
As
for both people to communicate.
Okay, when you say that, you mean just be blunt and open and direct with it, or do you?
You choose your words.
You choose your words.
You choose your words.
But that comes with knowing who you're dealing with. It also comes with, levels. You got some people that can function under that type of chaos. Then you got some people that can't function under that type of pressure. Mm-hmm. If all you want to do yell and scream and cuss at me, I'm not going to do good in that environment, because my defense mechanism is going to make me scream, yell, and cuss, and we ain't getting nothing done. Mm-hmm. I found out later on, as I got older, the way to communicate with my wife was not necessarily us face to face. I would pen a letter or a text, because I was able to get everything out without being cut off, or without having to defend myself or my action. Mm-hmm. Because again, nobody wants to be told about themselves. So, as a human trait, we're going to defend ourselves. So, communication, or the lack of communication, is a breakdown between me and you expressing ourselves. Mm-hmm. So how do we fix that? And sometimes fixing that means going to see a third party. And see, you can't say counseling or psychiatrist in a black community. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Ooh, you crazy. But a lot of times, all it takes is you being able to speak without being interrupted. They being able to speak without being interrupted. and somebody interpreting what both of y'all said.
Yeah.
I used to coach football, and my son was on my team. I could tell him everything. It's going one ear, out the other. If I wanted him to do what I wanted him to do as his coach,
Yeah,
I had to tell
somebody-
the assistant coach to tell
tell
him,
him.
this is what I need you to tell him.
You're right.
Because again, sometimes coming from somebody else is more receptive.
Right.
Because you got to understand, I've already built up a wall for what you got to say to me. I've already built up, you know what I mean, a tolerance. Because if, you know what I mean, if I think you full of shit, it ain't nothing you going to say to me that's going to change
It's gonna
that.
change that.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It ain't nothing you going to say to me that's going to change that. Nothing. You going to be, ooh, babies, okay, we going to do it. I'm like, you full of shit. And then it's going to take somebody else to say, hey, look, you're going to have to meet in the middle. This is what I suggest you do. This, that, and that. And if you're serious about the relationship, then go see them.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a good friend, and you probably watching. I ain't gonna call his name, but I'm gonna put him out there. He fell in love with a gal. She fell in love with him. Wedding was beautiful. They got a divorce a year later. And it was just about the communication. Wasn't no cheating. He made great money. They got a divorce based on who was gonna be the boss of who. And if that ain't about dumb, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
But it happened.
Yeah.
I watched it happen.
Daniel, what's your intake, young guy?
Communicate. The C is for coming together.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
Y'all get this serious.
I had to light it up.
I was right there. You had me.
That would have been coming out the top.
Yeah, hey, you was sitting out fighting, son.
Oh man.
You killed the boot, son.
All right.
But communication is definitely a good thing to have established, especially if that person can be your yin to your yang. That's that right?
Yeah,
Yin to the yang.
Yeah.
Meaning they might be on a 7 on regular day, but you'll be just real mellow, laid back on 0. So that when it comes time for y'all have, I want to say arguments, put it as disagreements. She'll be able to speak however she wants to. Well, not, still respect her, but you'd be like, hey, can you say it again this time without the tone being up high? You're up here. I need you down here.
That shit ain't never worked.
Once emotions kick in, it's going.
It's there. Way the fuck up there.
What were you yelling like this here? I ain't yelling. What you talking about?
Just talking about.
I want you to hear me, and I'm right here.
But you act like you don't understand, so I gotta speak this way. Okay.
That's when you say, hey, all right, I'll holler at you when you calm down.
Now you gonna holler at me right now.
You can't talk to a wall. I mean, you can talk to you blue in the face. I ain't got to respond to you.
That's what they
You let me know how that work out.
Yeah.
That'll work out.
Oh, that's right.
But you gotta understand, you got some people in this world that equate arguing and fighting with love. So that's, you know what I mean? You don't
That's
love
the
them if
best
you ain't
thing.
arguing and fighting with them. It's
Because
crazy.
they feel like that.
Crazy as it sounds.
If you're not arguing with them and on the same level they're arguing, then you're not being emotional, you're not being general. Then
But
like
you
you
don't
say,
care
you're
about the
not.
relationship.
You don't care about that
You don't
shit.
care about
If
the
you just sitting there, just
It don't
looking at
mean
me,
shit to you.
you don't
You
mean
just watching
shit.
you just watching the TV. It don't mean nothing.
You could be saying that.
Then she moved real fast. Hey, stop. Hey.
Hey, do that quick. Like, oh shit.
Then she say something like, that's what I like. Girl, I never met you. It's a fly. You saw that damn fly. Then you gotta get rid of it. I take this motherfucker down.
what I like.
Bring it on down. Bring it on back. Yeah,
Well, if you love your people, beat them. Show your love. As always, real big, real talk. Thank you for showing out with us. Hey, as always, thank you for hitting up with us and talking with us. But checking us out, and you enjoying the conversation. So hit us up on Facebook and YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. As always, thank you for showing up and showing out. Real talk, real good.